We love each other. We like vibe, right? We want to fuck each other. What is wrong with me? I'm horny. I have not had sex in a long time, guys. What if I was gay? What would the African community say? What would like my family say? What would my friends say? All that stuff. I started realizing, oh, people tend to actually hate you. You can't hate me. Like, what are you talking about? It's me. But no, they can. Like, even your friends can too. Like, it's heartbreaking. Like, it happens.
Especially African parents make a lot of decisions for their kids.
I am my mother's worst nightmare. If y'all ever end up hearing Donald's story of how he survived to live here and like y'all already kind of know my story, you would see how like important it is to have our voices in this space. My family is very Islamic, very Muslim. Religion just teaches you to believe in something other than yourself. But humans, I feel like, weaponize that belief to put down other humans because it's our innate desire to one-up each other. And I think that is of the devil. And who are you to be the judge and the executioner?
Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to Am I Too Loud, the podcast with Sophie, aka the Odditty. That was such a stiff intro. Oh my goodness. You guys have a visitor here. If you're watching video, then you see Mr. Kofu. Mr. Kofu has been with my ex for like 3-4 months now, and he finally sent him back to me. So my baby's back home. I was traveling a lot at the later end of last year. So finally I'm like, okay, I can be a dog mom again. Bring my baby here with me. I gotta train him on how to fly, but he's like such a grumpy boy. Like he doesn't like flying. If you're wondering who Mr. Kovu is on audio, that is my dog. I have a Havanese poodle. He looks a mess right now because he needs a groom and he needs to be Did you just bark, Donald? I'm telling y'all, Donald loves attention. Like, you wanted me to intro you in the first 10 seconds of the video. That's your problem, Donald.
It's been 60
Hello,
seconds.
Donald.
It's been 60 seconds.
Hi, Mr. Donald.
What did you say he was? Jalapeno?
Jalapeno is crazy. He's a Havanese poodle. Anyways, guys, Mr. Kovu is here. He might get bored after a while and then run off, but for the most part, he might just lay on me. I miss my baby. I forgot how, like, nice it was to have someone else in the house with me that wasn't just me. So anyways, hi guys, welcome to, I think this is officially the first podcast of the year. I feel like that's the vibe I'm giving because the first podcast we actually posted was my Ghana Dirty December recap vlog video thingy pod episode. And today, and then the last, okay, English is so hard right now. And then the second, Donald is attempting to chew not loud. And it's not chew.
Am I too loud?
No, I'm telling you, you're not chewing
You
it
get
up. Okay, Donald. Chew the
loud?
damn thing.
They can't hear me.
Chew it. Let me see. Okay, I can't hear you. I promise. Chew. You can chew. I just see you in the
You
background.
know those people that chew like silently
Yeah.
when they're eating food?
You're one of those people. I
No.
hear you gulp. I hear you chew. Because I had a big right now.
No, you don't hear me.
But I did not hear the chewing.
Okay.
I feel like technically after the Tart episode, which I just did, if you don't know, if you're not caught up on the podcast yet, my last episode was my Tripping with Tart episode where I talked all things like Tart Cosmetics, brand trips as an influencer, exposing all the tea. That was a fun episode to like recap and talk about. And so I feel like this is officially like, whoo, 2025 is in. We're fully in the year now. January is still not fucking over, babe. Like, I feel like every year, January is always the longest year.
Yeah.
Like, the longest January always feels like the longest month. I'm tired of it because it's still January right now. Like, I've recorded 3 episodes and it's still January, which makes sense because it is 3 years. My goat meat smells so good right now.
So many distractions, bro.
Y'all, for context, we record my podcast on my couch in my room, in my apartment, sorry. And, like, I'm currently cooking some goat meat. And I got my goat meat from Costco. So random. Just wanted to let y'all know that. And I'm telling you right now, it smells delicious. Like, I'm about to eat this goat down. I'm going to eat this goat ass. Like, Jesus. I want to suck on the goat. Like, that, I just know the bone is going to be succulent. The way that it's smelling right now, it tastes so good. I can tell. The point is, there's a lot of distractions right now. What I'm trying to say with this intro is, this is our first, like, Sophie one-on-one with the pod fam, like, talk. Like, debrief about like my year, my new year goals, what I want to do with my life. Donald is also here just because I don't know why Donald is here, but Donald is here. Donald's going to talk a little bit about his life. Like, I'm just like excited to chat with you guys. There's nothing like crazy going to be happening in this video that I know of. We're just going to like chat. Like, if you're open to chatting and talking with me, then hey guys, I'm shy, stupid. Keezies, you miss me? I miss you too. And it's not like you've not like seen me or anything, but it's just like, you know, we have a connection, we have a bond. We love each other. We like vibe, right? We want to fuck each other. What is wrong with me? I'm horny.
Hey.
Yeah. That's really what it is. I have not had sex in a long time, guys. Because I
When
feel
last-
like I've noticed a lot
when
of
last did you
my
have
content
sex?
lately has been just very sexual
When
content.
last did you have sex?
What's your problem?
You just brought it up.
I know. But
And
I
now
need
I'm
Excel to
curious.
continue it.
Because I'm curious.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Happy New Year to you too.
No, 3 weeks.
So technically, you've not done it in 2025.
I have. Okay, so 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's a long time. And I'm ovulating right now too. So I feel very like wired up. And y'all, for context, like I never used to talk about sex and relationships online. And I feel like the floodgates are open now. And I just want to yap. So you're going to hear a lot of that. Because I feel like sex is like an important part of the human body and like anatomy and soul and function. Yeah. I also love to make Donald uncomfortable. And every time I bring up sex, he feels like he wants to shit himself. Because we were testing the mic earlier before the episode started. And I went into the mic, I was like, And Donald I think he almost puked in his mouth. Anyways, the point is, I'm horny. It's a new year, new episode. The world is going to shit. Happy New Year, Donald. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, how have you been? What's going on? What's new?
Not horny.
When last did you have sex, Donald? When last did you have sex, Donald?
I'm very active.
You're going to answer that question because you're a madman. You are sick in the head. If you don't... Yesterday? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? 4 days ago?
I plead the fifth.
Donald, that's a...
No, I have to plead the fifth.
If you don't answer this question right now,
Okay.
I swear you're not going to talk the entire podcast.
Hold on. Sidebar, right?
Okay.
Do people in relationships talk about when they have sex when the other person is not there?
Yeah. I
'Cause
feel like that's open. Is that like, do you think, okay, you know what? Answer, and then we could cut it out if she says no.
Oh.
Yeah, because we have the power to cut it
Like
out.
2 days ago.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Why would you say it? Ew, I don't want to picture that. Ugh, take it out.
Okay. You wanted it.
Dude, I regret it now instantly. But you guys, Donald is active. I'm not. Oh, man, I'm active.
No, but you're also active 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks is a long time. I don't think I don't know. Shut up. Okay.
Because, okay.
Sorry, y'all. I still have a cold. I feel like I'm tired. I don't know when this
You're
cold's gonna be
sick.
over. I am sick.
You've been sick.
I have been sick. I feel like my friend Sonia got me sick. F-U-C-K, babe. I love her so much. Love her down. But F-U-C-K to Sonia. Because why am I this sick? I don't know why. I'm just upset. Because now she's gallivanting across New York. And like, I'm over here struggling. I'm very sad about it.
Oh, she's better now?
She's better now.
How you sure she's the one that got you sick?
Because like, we were like making out during the Thai trip. And she was coughing before that.
Is this true or not?
Yeah, it was. Why?
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We make out sometimes. It's
Do
like
you
a
do you
normal
make out
thing.
with all your friends?
Sometimes. I feel like lip-sync is not crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like it's okay to lips. So that's gonna kill me. Like I can imagine the FaceTime calls right now. Sophie, what the fudge? All right, y'all. Anyways, I'm trying my best to feel better. I feel like starting off 2025 with a high, the way I did, like going to Ghana, having the best time of my life, and then coming back and going on the TAR trip, and then just like doing a bunch of brand deals, and like it started off like a really high. And usually I realize like my years start off like really high, and then I tend to start slowing down in the middle of it, and my goal for this year is not to do that. Right? Because I feel like at the end of the day, I want to maintain that momentum, and we tend to sometimes like forget to revisit our goals and our resolutions for the year. And I really want to like stay on top of it. So me and Donald have like plans. Also, I feel like we've never actually talked about what me and Donald's relationship is on the podcast. I think this is a good time. Like episode 15 is a good time to actually like talk about
That's true.
how we met. I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Oh my god, that's true. We never
You
talked
guys,
about that.
let me tell you the story about me and Donald met. So, I'm like a New York babe, fine as fuck, dancing on the dance floor, living my best life. And this man like comes up to me at the club. I'm partying, dancing, taking shots, and he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, sexy," and I was like, "Who the fudge are you?" He's like, "Oh, hey, hot stuff. Can I get your number?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, I used to fuck your friend. I want to fuck you too. Can we connect and talk?" And I'm like, "Which friend?" And then he tells me that he used to fuck one of my other friends.
Okay.
And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he tells me the friend's name, and I'm like, "Oh, me and the friend aren't friends anymore. But since you used to F her, I want to mess with her. You need to get my number. Let's be friends." And we've been besties ever since. Is my goat overflowing? Could you help me turn the fire down? This is such an African podcast, guys. It's crazy. My goat me is overflowing with the pot. Just like turn the fire just down a little bit.
That story is not true.
Okay, tell us your version of the story.
Tell you my version.
Yeah.
I'm a creative director and I own an agency. So I'm always out here like trying to network, right? So on a sunny night, it was one of those nights where you have the
Already
red,
this is facetiousness.
the red moon,
The red moon is crazy.
Yeah, so it was really bright. So I already knew it was going to be an odd day. I go to Lagos and I'm chilling with, because I had some friends.
Lagos is a restaurant in New York City, in Manhattan, Times
Yes.
Square. Yeah.
And I had some friends coming from Canada.
You did. Honestly, since that day, I've never seen you around any friends at all. So we need to talk about those friends. Are you still friends with them?
Like I said, they came from Canada.
So they're not.
They do live here. So I had friends in town.
Okay.
So I'm in Lagos, ordered some bottles. I'm turning up.
No, I've never seen
drinking.
Donald order bottles before. He says, again, since that day, let me let you say your story. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Again, those friends were from Canada. I don't have a lot of friends in the area.
does
Hence
have a
why
lot of
you always
friends,
see me with Sophia.
Siri is crazy.
Sorry.
Siri?
I said sorry.
Nah.
I said sorry. Popping bottles.
Okay.
I look and I see my friend Estrella. And I'm like,
I love
oh,
Estrella. She's a
I'm
good friend
going to
of
go say hi to Estrella. And
ours.
I
was
go
around
up.
Estrella because Ike was there too.
Yes.
I'm such a terrible listener.
So that's the problem about going to Lagos, right? And that's
You
why I don't
always
like
see
going there.
people.
You see people that you know, especially if you're in our industry.
Why are you running away from people? Why don't you want to see people you know?
Anyway, I go and I see Sophie and I'm like, wait, I know this girl from somewhere, but I'm not sure.
I'm a famous bitch.
But then I remember her. I was like, oh, this is the girl that this other girl, not the girl that I used to, like a girl I used to talk to, right? Very casual. Very casual. And I was like, oh, this is her ex-friend that she didn't like and she always used to say bad things about.
That bitch.
So what I did is I went to Sophie and I was like, hey, we have a mutual enemy. That's what I said.
I remember.
And she was like, who is that? First of all, I have the best lines. Like when I come up to someone, I don't do it often, but I'm good.
I'll give you that. I like the mutual enemy.
Yeah.
That is true. Because usually when I'm out, I don't entertain anyone talking to me. Also, apparently, I have like RBF, and I'm like are you pumping your pecs right now?
Oh my God. Someone told me that thing happens. Jesus.
What's going on, Donald?
No.
I swear you're pumping your pecs.
Yesterday, that TikTok that I posted,
Yeah.
like, people were like, oh, why am I doing that? I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Involuntary.
Yeah. I just, maybe I should
Sorry,
stop working out.
distracted. No, that was hilarious. But now I'm watching your titties. Donald's titties keep moving.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I have a condition. Muscle laxosis.
Anyways, guys, he says we have a mutual enemy. I say, who is this bitch that we hate? We connect the dots. And so we start talking and I find out he has an agency. At that point, I'm looking to like get help with my content. Like I've been doing the content editing, creating, posting everything all by myself till that point. And then he was like, I run an agency. I can get you editors. I can get you thumbnail people. I can get you all these things. Like, come work with me. And I was like, you know what? Bet. And we just started working together. And you know what? I like to say, like, me and Donald are like creative soulmates. You know what I mean? Like someone who like just gels really well with the other person. When I was running my marathon, my aunt came to visit from Texas and she like loved Donald. She was like, I'm so glad you have a Donald in your life, because she saw how like we're just so in sync creatively. Like I didn't have to talk to Donald to know exactly what kind of content he needed, what kind of face he wanted from me. Like if you see us like working and brainstorming, like we're so in sync. That's what we're like, we stuck together, man. Like he's my G, I'm his G. We go together real bad, all that stuff. But yeah, so that's how me and Donald sort of met, and we've been friends now for like what, 2 years?
2 plus years.
Two plus years is crazy.
Yeah.
We've had our ups and downs. There was one time Donald did not pick my mom up from the airport, so we didn't talk for 6 months. And I swear Donald probably thought that was the craziest thing. I was so mad.
I get it though.
I was livid. But you've come together against our differences. And now we're closer than ever, basically. So yeah, that's just randomly about how me and Donald met. So guys, it is 2025, and I feel like since this is our first technical episode of us chatting, I want to reflect on the past 15 episodes of the podcast and see how far we've come. I feel like I started the podcast on a high with like breaking my silence and sharing what I went through in Nigeria, and that was such a special episode to kind of film and take my power. And then secondly, doing like my Am I Gay? What If I'm Gay podcast episode as well. So like sort of like start just unapologetically being myself. And I think following those episodes has just been me sort of like sharing my life in little bits and pieces. But I feel like the goal for this podcast is always to have that space for myself to just share and vent and, you know, just inspire, aspire, perspire.
To have a space where you can say more. And the
That's-
things that you might not want to say everywhere else.
Yeah, I feel like that's really the case here. Thank you, Donald. This is why we're in sync.
I think because remember the whole point initially in the podcast, because we have so many conversations.
We have so many conversations.
Right?
And scary, because I feel like there's certain things that I'm a terrible listener. Go ahead, Donald.
Okay, so we have so many conversations. And I think one big thing about us is like we've always wanted to like capture those moments. And I think like even now we're like learning like what episodes should we make on the podcast, like what should we discuss, like we're still trying to find that like footing, because like what are the things that you really want to share. And I think like it's easy when you're talking sidebar, but once you turn on all these cameras,
And
like
the light and everything.
then there's like so much pressure,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like we're getting a balance still with it. And like
Yeah.
y'all let us know in the comments, wherever you're listening, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all that stuff. Because right now, Am I Too Loud is Sophie and Donald sitting down with our editing team and just like brainstorming ideas of what to talk about. Like this episode was like, okay, like I usually start my new year February 1st. Like for me, January is like my get your life together, get your shit together kind of vibe. And then we just go crazy from February. And as we're talking now, we're like, oh, we're branching out because I want to talk to you about Donald. And I want to talk about different things. And it was not going to be a pop culture podcast. It's not going to be a commentary podcast. It's not going to be very specific. But I feel like the Oddity has never been sort of like a specific thing or niche. It's just me and how many chaotic things happen in my head. And I hope you guys enjoy that. And also the goal for this year for me, for my biggest goal is for me to sell the podcast. Because this is all like the lights, the camera, everything is all me and Donald. Like, we're the ones posting everything online, trying to figure it out. And I am pouring a lot of money into this podcast because I really think there's a space for both our voices, right? Like, I identify as a bi, Nigerian, African, Yoruba, Muslim woman living in New York City who's a content creator who, you know, aspires to be so many different things with ADHD and anxiety. Like, I, in my head, want to be the next... I keep trying to tell myself what my goals are. Like, I want to be the next real Kevin Hart. I want to act. I want to sing. I want to be on TV. I want to be in movies. I want to buy a house for my mom. I want to do so many things. I have these big dreams for what the Oddity is. But I also like... I think the biggest thing is for me to, like, get to a point where little Sophie, who couldn't even dream of what she is now, would be like, holy shoot, we built this incredible life for ourselves by just sheer passion and grit.
Right.
And I think like Donald is the same thing for you, right?
Yeah, I think like trying to be one of the biggest creators, male creators in New York, right? And I think being a voice for the generation of people who are in Africa, right? I feel like there are a lot of young creators like myself, especially in the filmmaking industry. I had a really good conversation with a friend because I have a production company back in Nigeria, and he's making his first film in December with $1 million budget. I heard that and I was like, oh my God, like being able to like inspire and like just like chase your dreams. I think for me is like I've always been behind the scenes. I think like this also is an opportunity for me to just like, you know what's funny? Since I started doing the podcast, I have this like, I don't know what's the word to use, like just to show up, right? To like document. Like I asked myself last week and I came up with a word and the word was blogger. And I was like, I feel like I want to be a blogger.
Yeah.
Just document
a lot of stuff. I think you've been wanting, and I'll tell you all this from like when we're talking about the podcast, I always had it. And it's like, I don't know if it's a weird analogy to use, but like every time I thought about my podcast, I always said like I wanted it to be like a Jimmy Kimmel with Guillermo, right? I wanted someone who like you can banter off of, who you knew was ridiculously funny and who would like gel really well with you. And honestly, with Donald, I'm not going to call you out here. I didn't want Donald as a co-host because I felt like it would put too much pressure on you to show up.
Yeah.
And I knew that tricking Donald technically is just being like, you know, you're not really on camera, but like you kind of are. You can like add a little bit, but you're also in control with the production.
Yeah.
I knew that if I did that, he wouldn't take it too seriously.
Right.
And he would still just have fun with it. And I feel like we've grown into where like people want to hear both of us banter together now. People want to like hear both sides of the story. People like your videos are biggest video so far on Reels and TikTok. When you're talking about you when you fell in love, like that's I'm like when y'all see the Donald I get to see without the camera, it's like he's hilarious, and I'm never gonna say this again in my life.
I'm taking it.
Record the clip right now. He's hilarious, so funny, so driven, so passionate. He's a literal artist and creative at heart, and like I see how big he dreams, and I'm like, my biggest thing with you, and this is like I don't want to say feedback, but like one thing I know is like because you dream so big, you tend to not execute because you're constantly dreaming. And I think our goal for the year for the both of us is like to dream still but execute more. So like if we have an idea, instead of thinking and having it in our heads and like creating the idea over and over and over again, do it once. And if it doesn't work out, do it again until we fine tune what that idea could look like. Because if not, you never actually like try, and then you're always in the same spot over and over again. And I think this is like a representation of what our relationship is. We're constantly trying to be
Right.
better people and individuals. And I think it works out. I'm really excited about it. I had a thought, but I forgot about it.
Damn.
Are you being emotional? You're so dramatic.
I'm so glad I'm wearing this shit. No, for real, because like, you know, I texted you this morning and I was like,
Yeah, he did.
yeah, I was feeling so anxious this morning for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so
I see
random.
your lip quiver.
Wait, Jesus. Quiver?
It wasn't.
No, but for real, it's like,
Yeah.
I was so anxious this morning and I didn't know why. You know, I had to like meditate and stuff. I remember driving, I was like, oh my God, like, I hope I don't have like a anxiety attack as I'm driving. I was just like listening to Hamilton, like chilling.
Yeah.
But what you just said, like, that really like helped me. And so thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for sure.
done.
I say thank you.
Ew.
And you know, moving forward,
Yeah.
what you're talking about,
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of like the year of doing.
I think it is. I feel like y'all, for context, me and Donald we tend to do this thing where we have like phrases in our heads to guide us through like what our goals are for the year. So last year was like do it afraid. So like everything we're scared of, we tended to just want to do. And this year is kind of like the year of doing, which is like, you might think we put out a lot of videos, which we do, but I'm telling you, the videos we put out, they're videos that we thought about 8 months ago that we're finally putting out because we're like, we gotta not overthink this anymore and just do it. So I like to say we never actually think them through enough because we like are so rushed by them. And this year it's like we're taking it one step at a time and just doing as it comes.
Yeah.
So for example, like this episode, I was like, I don't want to overthink this. I just want to sit on the camera and talk and let's just see where we go. And now I'm like, I love this conversation. It feels like me and Donald like just chatting
like just
about
talking.
stuff.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I wanted for our first episode, to like chat with you guys and see what our heads are all at as we continue this podcast. But yeah, we're into the year of doing, which is basically us doing everything we put our mind to. Like, my biggest goal this year is to, again, like I said, like sell the podcast to a production company. Not because I want to sell the rights, but because like financially I want this to like be on a bigger scale. And again, like Donald wants to run his first marathon, which we're doing.
Right.
I'm really excited about that. I'm happy to support. I'll be doing the half and he will finish the rest. That's the deal we had. Unless I end up just signing up for the full thing. We'll see. I also want to like be my first show in some capacity or like act in some way. So like the little things like that we're like, you know, we've been saying we want to do these things that actually put our money where our mouth is and our talents and passion where our mouth is and just do it. Because I was talking to you about this earlier. People just like do things, you guys. Like this Mel Robbins is a podcaster who's like one of the biggest female podcasters right now. And everything she says is just like, it's everything we know, but we all just like overthink ourselves into not doing it.
Right.
Like if I say I want to work out, I can't just work out. Like I can just do it. I can start. If I say I want to write a book, I can do it. I can start. It's executing it, getting to the point where you actually put pen to paper, to go to the gym, to put on the clothes. Those processes are things that like always have us struggling.
Right.
Because we always tend to like not end up doing it. So like my goal for the year is to actually take things one step at a time, but also every time I think of something, I will choose to do it.
Yeah.
So like right now today I woke up and I was like, I need to go grocery shopping. I was like, maybe I should go tomorrow. It's gonna be a better day. I was like, it's cold, it rained, snow fell yesterday. I said, no, this is all excuses because tomorrow I can do other things tomorrow. And I got up and I swear I went to 4 grocery stores this morning. I told them I was like, I've had a productive morning and I feel a lot better that I did that and I executed it properly. And I'm like, oh, tomorrow I can read a book. I can do this. I can do that. So year of doing, I'm really excited about it. I feel like 2025 is my year to just try everything that I've wanted to try and see how they go. And I feel like not also be ruled by shame. Because I think with me, the difference right now, y'all, with like who we are and our voice in the podcast spaces, we're both immigrants who came from Nigeria and we both live in New York City and we're both chasing our dreams as creators. And why I think that's different is because we're both like, we're not Nigerians who live in Nigeria or Africans who were born in America who currently live here. A lot of our sort of like lives before 18, I think for me, when you was 20 something, right?
Mine was 19.
19. Oh, shoot. Like I was 17, Donald was 19.
19, yeah.
Was all back home in Nigeria. And then we came here and we had to start like all new lives
Over
with
again.
like different sort of like identities to make ourselves like survive in America in different ways. Like if y'all ever end up hearing Donald's story of how he survived to live here and like y'all already kind of know my story. Like you would see how like important it is to have our voices in this space because our growth is so different. And especially because from my perspective, like I have a single mom, right? And like Donald's parents are like, Donald has how many siblings? 3 siblings?
4.
four siblings, and they're all like sort of fending for themselves and banding together, and it's just so interesting. And every other podcast out there, not that I'm knocking everyone, it's like, you know, it's fun, it's pop culture, it's relationships, all this stuff, but the nitty gritty weird stuff isn't oftentimes said. It's stuff that like we all just like brush over, and I want this space to be that for that weird immigrant kid, that weird Nigerian who was born in America, the Nigerian who lives in Nigeria, the African who lives in the continent, the African who lives outside of the continent. I hope you can find something from the both of us, from our podcast, that you can either relate to, you can enjoy, you can escape into, you know what I mean? Like, that's the goal for the podcast. And I think for this year, every episode we put out, I hope there's someone out there who can relate to some part of the episode. And not just women. I think that's why I want to download here too. Like, not just women, but men too. Like, this is fun. We want to talk about everything because I think we bring such a unique perspective around, like, our lives, right? Like, because we also both really assimilated into America versus, so, like, other people we know. Like, we're both very much in tune with the American creative space as well as the like African creative space. So it's interesting how we're trying to bridge that gap here. Like the shit we talk about with like other creators and then now, it's just cool. I really like it.
It makes it hard too because it's like,
hi Bubsy.
It makes it hard to figure out where to fit. Like I was at a shoot last week and someone was like, oh, like you just moved to America 2016. I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, they had no idea. They thought I was born here.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I wasn't. Because they were making a lot of references, and I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
even
picking back for what you said, like with like the anxiety that I had today, I think it came off of a conversation that I had with my elder sister, just surrounding like my parents.
Yeah.
Like my dad, for example, I haven't spoken to my dad since his birthday on the 24th
of December.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like he didn't call to like wish Happy New Year. And this is normal, right? Like this is not something that's like. They don't reach out as much, and I've never understood it. But I was looking at my younger sister, and I was telling you, because my younger sister is 22, and I was like, they really just like shipped her here at 17.
Figure it out.
You know, and for me, like the feeling I felt was disappointment.
Yeah.
I felt disappointed because like, it's like the parents that I knew, they've disappointed me. Like, how do you like have children? And just like, to me, you should be obsessed. If you're like an African parent, like, you should be obsessed. And it made me start to think about like a film that I made, right? Yeah. And I have a short film called Diary Jimmy, which is a big part of how I'm able to be in America. And it's a film about a girl who loses her boyfriend due to a curse placed on her by her dad, right? And when I made that film in 2017, the entire thing I was thinking about was how a lot of parents, especially African parents, make a lot of decisions for their kids. I was going to make a TikTok about this, and I was going to talk about, because I've been thinking about making the feature. And the approach, because when you watch that short film, it starts at a campsite where the girl is with her boyfriend, who is white. And she has sex with the guy, and the guy dies. Right? Which is...
Reynolds' movie was crazy. It's one nail, you know that.
But, and the reason why she didn't know that, because she had a conversation with her dad, and her dad had made her promise that she would keep herself to marriage. Yeah. Right? So this is this African man, and, you know, this girl who was born in the U.S., and I wanted to expatiate on the relationship of why he was so protective, right? Talking about how like her mom died of cancer, but even like trying to understand why African parents even like parents in general, right? Like in the next like 6 years, I would probably have a son or a daughter, and I want to have a daughter, right?
You do?
Yeah, you know, it's like, so like we'll probably be like parents. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you not go wrong? How do you not disappoint your children, right? And I think it just sucks because like, to me, and that's what's a big part of anxiety, because I also saw a video on TikTok yesterday of some lady who was like, your parents are not going to change.
I saw that same content, yeah.
And like, I think that sent me on a whole spiral. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, okay, so they're not going to change. And I also have this attitude of, I think that's one thing America has done is like, I have this thing where like, once I don't care, I don't care. Yeah. And the fact that like, I can assign that part of my brain to my parents and not care scares me.
Yeah. I want to bring out what you said about like our parents not change, because like when I saw that, it just made me think about a conversation I've been having a lot with like my friends too about just like me and my identities, because I think that even in the conversation we're having now, we're also sort of like following that same path. Like I have friends right now who aren't far off from our parents, right? Who aren't far off from like the behaviors our parents did that we all complain about. And when we do complain about it, it tends to be like, oh, you're American now, or you're changed, or you're like, you don't understand where you're coming from, a culture. And I'm like, honestly, there's certain cultural practices that shouldn't be, they're not part of culture. They're part of society, and a mix of what that culture and whatever else you're trying to put into it is. And that was a big part of it, because I feel like I'm so disappointed in a way still with our generation and how we're moving towards still those same behaviors, especially with when we identify within amongst ourselves. Because when you were talking about how like you were so disappointed because you're thinking about your sister, I was like, oh my God. In my head, I thought, that's so nice that you're thinking like that. Like, how many men, right, think about, like, oh, my dad, and they're vocal enough to say, I wish my dad spoke to me more, right? I wish he had that connection with me. And I think it's little things like that that I hope to change. Because I know, like, when you have a kid, like, you want to communicate with your child. You don't want to give that, like, offhand approach. Because, like, for me, African dads, when I was growing up, I used to say, thank God I don't have a dad. Because dads are so mean. Like, they never want to actually, like, care about you. And I never saw, like, a solid male figure in my life. So it's so interesting that I say that. You have so much to, like, unpack there. But not this episode.
Yeah, because you started talking.
I know, I just started thinking about it. Wow.
I'm so glad I'm wearing these glasses.
You're feeling emotional?
Yo, my eyes are tearing up.
Yeah.
But it's like, because it's so frustrating, right? I think it reminded me of the thing that you said when I can't remember what you said. You told your friend.
I was gay?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, shit.
I can't remember the story. There was a.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing. I remember I posted my second episode on this channel was, what if I was gay? And I posted it, and I think I spoke with a friend, and I can't remember what the conversation was.
Was it something about marriage?
No, I don't remember. I was getting my nails done is all I remember. And I remember, like, it came up, and this is my friend is, like, older than me, and, like, this is, like, a sister, not even a friend. And I remember that came up, and I was like, what if I was? And they were just like, you're of the devil. And I was like, what? They're like, oh, yeah, that's very evil. You're of the devil. And I remember, like, thinking, well, you know me. Like, you know me. Like, you know my character. You know who I am. And you really think, like, the first thing you thought of when I told you something that might have been, for you, like, jarring to understand, which is crazy for me, because why would you even think that? Anyways, was crazy, man. I remember thinking, oh, shoot, like, there's a lot to still unpack there about people's identities. And what's crazy enough is, even with that episode, there's so many of my friends who I thought were going to be okay with that episode coming out, and the ones who I thought were going to be okay with it were not. Like, the ones who I thought were like, oh, they're the cool ones who, like, wouldn't be upset about it at all, were the ones who actually were like, I don't want to speak about that. No, like, don't do it. And the friends who I thought were very, like, strict and stiff and were, like, going to be so upset with me and were going to be, like, sort of, like, homophobic or anything, they were all very cool about it. They were like, oh, like, it's not our business. Like, one of my friends, shout out to her, she's actually pregnant right now, I love her to death. She was like, if you were, that's fine. Like, I'm not the one sleeping with you. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. And I feel like it was so interesting to see, like, that happen to me, because I think my heart is beating so fast. I think what I'm learning with me and being vocal online is I have not had a lot of persecutions about my identity before. Like, or I have not cared enough before. Like, people talk about, like, oh, I'm bald, and so, like, that's like a F you to, like, the establishment, and, like, I'm so powerful. But, like, my physical characteristics is always something that no one could comment on. Like, I never cared, or when I did, like, it was an insecurity as a child that, like, I made sure I worked through, because my understanding of my body is it's my body, my choice, and also my body is only, like, I only have this body. Like, I was born this way.
That's it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Like, if I looked any other way, my goal would always be, and maybe there's a privilege in saying this, my goal will always be to be the healthiest I can be. So, like, even right now, when I talk about, like, working out or, like, doing the best things about myself, it's usually always, I want to be healthy. And if I don't feel healthy, I don't feel good, then I'm going to adjust it. Like, my hair, my appearances, all that stuff has always just been for me to be healthy and the best version of myself I could possibly be. With my identity, so that's been different, because I think the only thing was ever, like, being Muslim and wearing the hijab, and that was, like, people would attack me for it when I used to wear the hijab. But I've never had sort of an identity that was very, like, seen as, like, the direct opposite of what society accepted. And so when I posted that episode and I was like, what if I was gay? Like, what would the African community say? What would, like, my family say? What would my friends say? All that stuff. I started realizing, oh, people tend to actually hate you for something that it goes directly against what they believe. And I know I've heard that. I've seen it happen to other people. But I've always just thought, oh, I'm too, like, it's me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't hate me. Like, what are you talking about? It's me. But no, they can. Like, even your friends can too. Like, it's heartbreaking. Like, it happens. But also, like, to live in this world, the only life you ever get is this one. Like, I would always want to live out loud and live unapologetically. And that's one thing I'm always going to stay, like, true to.
Makes you realize how strong people's beliefs are too.
Yes.
Like, and the thing is, people's beliefs are, they take them more than themselves. I love having this conversation with Christians,
Yeah.
Especially Christians who like believe that it doesn't matter if you're a good person. Because my argument to Christians is, if you're a good person and you die, if there's a heaven, you make heaven. And they're like, no, it's not enough. You have to believe in Jesus Christ. And I'm like, that's exhausting, right? But, and like, people who stop talking to you, you lose friends because of these beliefs. Like, generally, like, if someone believes that being gay is of the devil, you've gone against their religion.
Yeah.
And their religion is like, it's bigger than them.
Yeah.
So like, it's not about,
do.
it's not, like, nothing you can do.
I think I grew up, and maybe this, I don't know why it wasn't this way, because I grew up very Muslim. Like, my family is like, I went to Lake where I studied the Quran and
Muslim?
everything. Like, I went to Lake, I finished the Quran back and front. Like,
Okay.
I was very like,
That's
went
like
to
the
Lake
classes, right?
Yes, the classes to learn the Quran. Lake is like Muslim classes every Sunday, like family, all of that. Like, my family is very Islamic, very Muslim. And my mom's an Elijah. Like, that's very, very me. Now, here's the thing. My belief when I studied, and I also like studied the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran when I was like 14 to like 17, because I just was nosy. And I remember thinking, religion just teaches you to believe in something other than yourself, right? But humans, I feel like, and I'm not a preacher here, humans, I feel like, weaponize that belief to put down other humans because it's our innate desire to one-up each other, right? And I think that is of the devil, because my issue with a lot of identity politics, and even like thinking about the Trump presidency, we'll talk about that in a second, is like, you can believe something, but your need to put down other people is what I can never get behind.
Right.
Or your need to make other people hate other people or have that negative emotion to other people is something I can never understand. Like, negative comments, negative opinions, like, hatred is never a good thing in any aspect. Like, I don't even think whatever God you serve would ever tell you to do that. And who are you to be the judge and the executioner for someone who is bigger than you in so many ways? You know what I mean? So like, for me, it's always been, no matter what, if someone tells me they're X, Y, and Z, they're this, they're that, acceptance, because that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
And then I think people's arguments is always like, oh, what about laws that are changing, societies, our kids, da 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 da. And I'm always like, I feel like any of these things matter directly to you, then you vote for that law based on what you think, and then let everything else happen. Like, you being an advocate, you spreading hate, you spreading all these things, it just feels very like exhausting and doesn't feel very like religious or very like Christianic or Islamic or, you know, anything. It just feels like negative. Anyways, just random thought. I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we ended up here. I think that's important.
No, it always comes down to religion for me. And for me, it's like,
because it was funny. I believe in religion. I've never told you the story about it. I feel like I want to save that for an episode on religion.
yeah, I think we should.
Okay, never mind.
Because we can go on a tangent
about religion.
Actually, like the fact that like you were born Muslim and I was born Christian.
Like, his mom is like,
my mom's a pastor,
and
right?
my mom is an Elijah. Like, my mom prays fast. My mom fasts every other day. Like, I am where I am today because my mom is fasting. Like, be it what it may about what my beliefs are on religion, I know that my mother's prayers are what's keeping me alive.
They put both of us and they put our parents behind.
I'm telling you. You can just see them, two of them behind us, pray for us. Which is interesting. I don't know. I love her for it though. Like,
yeah, me too.
I understand how religion is her belief system is what helps her survive, and I would never take that away from her. Because I understand it and the need for that too. Like, I like to say, like, I fasted during Ramadan last year, and I'm planning on fasting again this year. And I think I always feel so good when I fast, because being human is such a scary phenomenon. Like, I don't think we talk about it enough. Like, being a human means like you're trusting that you little piece of sand, dust, and muscles and bones matter in the world of like 7 billion of us on this like floating planet of whatever. Like, you need to grasp something to survive. Like, you need something so you don't go crazy or mad. And if that is religion for a lot of people, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the month where like I'm fasting and I say, Inshallah, I want this, I'm praying for it, I feel a sense of peace because I have told my brain, if I just hold on to this person, this entity, I will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that strength that gives me is something that is hard to describe to other people. So when I see overly religious people, I understand it.
Yeah.
Because I understand that feeling. Like the need to just understand that there has to be something bigger than me being the muscle and whatever, or like I was smashed and then the big bang happened and now I'm here as a human with thoughts and feelings.
I have
Is
a
insane.
book rec
Yeah.
for everyone.
Okay. What
I've
book
been
is
reading this book. It's called The Body,
Ooh.
A Guide for Occupants.
Okay. That's
Right? It's by Bryson Bill.
Okay.
It's a really interesting book. Quick highlight of the first chapter.
Yeah.
It talks about like how much does the body cost? Like how much is the body worth? And some people say it's like $30, right? Because a lot of the things that the body makes of, like the oxygen and all the major components,
$30.
you can go get it in the store, right? But a lot of the other things, like the organs and the things that are like 0.0000001% that are hidden in the elements that don't even make it to the periodic table are things that if you want to get, they cost like $80,000. So the entire chapter ends with like the body's worth around $320,000.
Wow.
And I think like that perspective of like looking at your body as like, I'm worth almost like $500,000 if someone was to make it. But even if someone had all those ingredients, they couldn't create something that could literally heal itself over and over again and like breathe like and start it from scratch. That was like really dope.
How crazy that is to think about.
Yeah.
Like we can't create each other besides like, birth and coming out. It's just so anyways, religion, thoughts, bodies, $330,000, all of it.
We'll be back.
We'll be back about religion in another thing. But yeah.
So you've been talking about like this second episode, being gay and all that.
LOL. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
So you out?
Damn, Donald. Okay. Yeah, I think I am. It's so weird because okay, y'all, I'm gonna intro this segment this way.
Because it's a little bit like I think I have a lot of friends, right, who are part of that community. I think we're saying like that's kind of weird.
That community is crazy.
That's what I'm saying is weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to understand like where would you place yourself, and is this like a I'm here or are you just like on a journey?
I want to put this episode like this. We are not going to share this part of the clip on any teaser or recap reels or anything. I think I want this to be for just the listeners of the podcast, even though I know this podcast is going to go to different places. I just want you all to know that I'm actually just sharing it with you guys. I date both. I've dated both men and women. And I remember telling my brother recently and like coming out to my brother. I literally just did recently. I was like, hey, I'm going to let you know like this is something about me. Because I've had a lot of people ask my other friends, like, we've seen Sophie's episodes, like, is she gay? Is she not? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think it's anyone's business, but it is because I've been bringing it up a lot. And I think it's because I want people to understand where my head is at right now in terms of, like, how I want to start representing myself in the world. Like, I just want to be me. And, like, this, my life with, like, relationships and companionships, like, this is a part of my life that I'm like learning too as I go. I remember talking to my brother about it recently and telling him like, hey, what if I was? He was like, first of all, I kind of assumed that you were, which is cool to hear him say. He still has to like
before the episode or after the episode?
After the episode.
Okay.
He was like, oh, like he's not surprised, and he made a comment about how he's not surprised because he says I have not had any male figures in my life, and that's why he thinks I might be leaning towards like ending up with someone who's not a guy. And I was like, I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
That's a curious response from you about trying to explain.
It's a good hypothesis.
Yeah, like I'm like, that's interesting that that's the first thing you thought of. But then he said something that is why I said this will only ever stay on this podcast. Now, if someone who is psychotic like decides to cut this clip or post about it somewhere else, then you, but whatever. I know what I'm doing by posting it anyways. He said, as long as you don't tell your mother before she dies, I'm okay with it. And that was the first time someone had directly told me my reality. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's all fun and games that like you're posting about these things online and like you sit online. I feel like my mom has kind of seen videos and like she's heard videos. She's probably just gonna be like, this girl is just talking nonsense, whatever. It's not gonna be a reality. And I think in my head, I'm like, I'm not directly talking to her or anything like that. Because you guys know my history with my mom. But I remember he said that and it was just like a big ball crashing down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to do about that. So I'm going to leave that there. But it is something that has been sitting on my chest a lot. Because I think it just feels like to be the oddity, it feels very real now. Like when I picked that name, I knew why I picked it at that point in my life. But even more so now, it feels even real. Like to be different. And there's so many people who are like me, who feel the way I feel, who look like me, who are going through the exact same thing I'm going through right now. I see you, I love you, I hear you. And that's why I'm okay talking and sharing this. It still just feels a little bit too real to always share like online. But I have made a decision to simply exist as myself and talk all the shit I want to talk. And that was why I did this podcast. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm just curious to see what I end up doing and how that impacts me like in the future.
I think you'll be fine.
That's such a breezy answer.
No, it's not though. Because I was going to say you should tell her.
No. But I feel like no.
Yes,
absolutely
you should.
not.
You absolutely should.
Absolutely not.
You absolutely
but like,
should.
Also, I think you say that because you know I'm going to be okay.
That's why. That's you see why it's not a breezy answer.
I know.
Yeah.
However, a part of me still wants the relationship I have with my mom to not change, and I know it would change. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad or just indifferent.
But it is operating from a place of fear.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, honestly, it's fear, but also like, damn, like she's been through enough with me. I literally like to say I am my mother's worst nightmare.
I don't think so.
I think so. I am very sure.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand that concept.
Yeah.
I would, and this is not like...
That's a great title. I am my mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
so sorry, yo. That's a great podcast title. Yo, we literally had to take a commercial break because my goat was burning as we're cooking it. But yeah, so I feel like to do what I feel like I was born on this earth to do, I feel like that's the cross I'm going to bear. Now, I can just see the comments from a lot of ignorant men, ignorant people in general, or people who just like think differently than I am. And I hope they understand that Am I Too Loud is a space where you're able to comment your dissent. Like, just understand that you're not going to convince me otherwise, because if anything, it's okay to have difference of opinions. I want to just respect you as you respect me.
Is it bad that like in this case, a difference of opinion is
matter,
like,
it's not your problem.
It's also a difference in IQ.
No, Donald.
No.
Donald, like, lots
Okay.
of
No, genuinely, right?
me.
It's a difference in IQ that like, it makes sense. Like if I see someone who's like, oh, like how can you be like this? It's like, I empathize with you.
Yeah.
It's like
there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
the fact that you can't comprehend why another human being would want to explore. Like we're going to space.
Yeah.
Like people are,
It's just
if
different.
you don't get it, it's an IQ thing.
Well, if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's an IQ thing from Donald.
Well.
But yeah, guys, I'm excited for where this podcast is going to go. I like when we don't have chats like this because I think it's really cool to just see what's in our heads. And I think there'll be more episodes like that. So I feel like I want to do an episode on anxiety. I feel like that's a big thing that we're going to be gearing up towards. But also we're going to do fun episodes too as we like introduce segments into the podcast as well. But it's definitely going to just be a random hodgepodge.
What do you guys prefer? Fun episodes or deep episodes? Because we can go
deep
deep.
episodes could also be fun though. Like this is fun.
That's
We're
true. This is
insulting
fun.
each other in between.
Actually, no. There's been no insult today.
I'm very surprised. We usually are like very like tacky. I think also this year I'm really excited about like love and friendship and companionship and just like growing in that part of my life. I think for the past couple of years I've been very focused on growing with work, and I feel like I'm in a good place now where like now I want more in my like emotional parts. Basically, I'm enjoying pouring into my personal relationships. There we go. Yeah. That's what I'm really excited for this year. 2025 is my year of like personal relationship, personal growth, as well as career growth as always, because So we're gonna go into some odd news, kinda, but like not really, because it's not really odd. It's just like things that have been happening. Because as y'all are listening to this, we are recording January 20th. So Donald Trump was inaugurated in office today. I don't want us to talk a lot about him and his presidency because we're both immigrants, Donald. One
thing I don't understand is why did this happen on MLK Day?
I don't know, but he said he's going to make MLK's dreams come true. I'm telling you, we're both immigrants here.
Just in case, like I'm just saying, because we don't understand it. Okay, that's true. We can't say anything.
I'm not saying, but gang, for the next 4 years.
What did you say
Hail
today?
Trump. I'm telling you, I want to emphasize.
That's true, because we have to
and
be careful, though.
I want to push forward my black brothers and sisters with blue passports. Y'all hold this fight down for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Until I get to your spot, until I get to where you are at right now.
Enjoy.
I'm telling you, I have yapped enough. You know where I stand. However, my life is in a balance right now. And I have built a life for myself in this country. I could be easily taken away, but it would not in Jesus' name. But yeah, so Trump was just sworn into office. It's going to be a crazy 4 years. In the past couple of hours, he's talked about taking away birthright citizenship, how like the TikTok CEO is now and him are like going to work hand in hand. His entire front row for his speech was like all like the tech billionaires. All I know is the next 4 years, a lot of people are going to get rich.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
The rich will get richer, and
I
the poor
just,
will
I'm
get poor.
happy to be one of them. So I can give
Yeah.
back to other people for
Yeah.
sure. That's exactly why I want to be rich. But you guys, by the way, I promise. I know this might sound facetious, but I genuinely mean it. It's just interesting. I feel like, again, I have nothing to say on this matter.
This can be a whole episode.
It could be a whole episode, but we're not going to do that because,
We should do a
again,
Surviving America episode.
no, baby. Again, because we're going to wait for 4
4 years.
years. Okay?
If you stick with us for 4 years, you get an
Or
episode.
when we have our blue pally.
Yes.
And for those who don't understand, you don't need to understand what we mean. Okay, let's just keep it there. Why not? You sort of more. Okay. Here's the thing. TikTok was also banned for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This happened. So when y'all listen to this, I feel like I hope we found some more information, and then y'all let us know in the comments. So we probably will talk about it in the description in the comments. But TikTok was also banned for like 12 hours, and a lot of your favorite influencers were saying a lot of crazy stuff about how, you know, if this is going to be our last post on TikTok, here's a secret that I want to share. And I realized I'm not doing the social media thing right. I'm too honest. I'm genuinely serious. I think I talked to Donald a lot about this. I'm like, Donald, we're not fabricating our lives enough.
Yeah.
Because you guys, I think I could be famous if I was a liar.
Yeah.
And I think that's my issue. I need to lie more. And I'm going to practice now. I love Donald Trump. Hashtag MAGA.
Yo, you went red, bro.
Hashtag MAGA.
What is that?
Hashtag Make America Great Again. Hashtag Hail Trump. Hashtag Trump for president. Hashtag Trump won the 2020 presidency. Hashtag post this on TikTok right now. Because I'm telling you, the lies that were being shared.
Out of context, that could
go crazy. Please.
Yo.
Give me that blue passport quick. No, it's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because like when I post content, I'm thinking of what I am doing and documenting what what I am doing. I don't know what I just said, but I don't think of fabricating.
Someone's like, "Oh, remember the car that the guy gave me? It was my car." I'm like, "What you mean?"
I'm telling you, like, oh, y'all. And I'm looking, I'm like, don't know, imagine like the Tesla you bought, you faked it.
Yeah.
So you didn't waste money. You have to go in the same engagement.
Right.
Like, why am I in this apartment? Why am I paying rent?
Right.
How could I just fake a fake apartment tour?
I see.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we're doing it wrong.
I see.
We need to be liars. That's my goal for 2025, to lie. Because I saw that and like my mouth dropped because I'm like, if it's story time, people are like, oh, we faked the whole story time. You fake. How do you remember you remember the lie? Like you follow up. You're lying.
You fake going to the gym. You faked running. Like why?
Imagine faking the marathon. Why did I run? I couldn't have. Like, who would have found out?
Right.
People actually. No,
not
I could
really.
have lied.
Yeah, true.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we just realized that like we're doing poorly as influencers and we need to lie more. We'll keep you guys updated on whether or not we lie better than that. Okay, so we're gonna end today's episode with a scenario because I was watching Trevor Noah's podcast, and on his podcast he did like a sort of like if I was in charge of the world or something, what is a rule that I would instate? And so I wanted to do like an odd scenario. Donald's gonna tell me like one of the odd scenarios I could imagine right now. We'll see how we can like imagine something cool.
Okay.
I don't know. Tell me if I explain that right.
If aliens invaded the Earth.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. It's an odd scenario. If aliens, I feel like aliens are real. First of all.
I was at New Year's with a friend of mine, and she was like, "Oh, like her mom believes the Earth is flat."
I know the friend you're talking about, and I can see it. I would jump off my balcony.
No, wait. Where would they land?
I don't know because I would kill myself.
Yeah, but just
If I ever got an alert that says, if I got an alert that said there's a tsunami coming, a hurricane coming, whatever, I will kill myself first. Trigger warning, suicide warning. I will kill myself.
Yeah, but that's
Do
no
you-
fun though.
Why?
We need you to be alive.
Why?
In this world, you have the power to be alive.
Why?
Why?
They will me. I have a really fuckable head.
Because think about it, right?
No. I
Who
think I
tells
would
your
suffer
story?
the most.
Who tells your story?
What do you mean?
Somebody has to tell your story. But if you jump,
What story? Tony Allen is coming to
yeah, because if they have coitus with you, that means imagine the child, you and an alien.
Oh my.
Picture it. No, picture the child.
Don't
Okay,
know.
hold that thought. Hold that thought. Where would they land? I'll give you options.
Okay.
Okay, New York,
Uh-huh.
Lagos, Paris.
No, I feel like aliens will only land where white people are.
So like we're in Montana.
I feel like in a desert or something. Because I really feel like if they land like in Lagos or something, we'll eat them.
No, but they always come to the
Someone
cities.
will burn
though.
them. Someone will burn.
They come to the cities.
Imagine
In
a
Lagos. You- Have you seen those videos of like the drone when drone is flying in the back? Somebody's like,
Whatever time, and it don't even piss me off.
In the
But let me
beach.
think about it, because we're colonized very easily. But it was because we're fighting against each other though. I don't know, because you know, like a lot of movies that we see about aliens.
no, but aliens like heat.
How do you know that?
Mars. Like other planets are hotter than Earth.
Yeah, but I also don't think they're like.
That's
What
not
if
true.
they have like? I just believed you.
That's not true.
I just
Some of them.
You know what? You seem like you know.
Closer
it.
to the sun. No, Mercury, Venus, and
Yeah, I was
Earth.
gonna say they're all colder. What are you talking about? Earth is like the one in the middle. That's why we're able to live
We're
here.
not in the middle.
We are. I know, but like what middle-ish? If there are 9 planets, we're number 4.
We're number 3.
We're 4.
We're 3.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth.
No.
Yes.
No.
Google it.
We're not number 4.
Google it.
There's
Only a
no
table.
way. Are we the third planet?
We're 4. Planets alignments. How do you say it? You guys, my accent changes so much when I'm
Wait,
excited. Wait, is this
no. Mars is
Mars
4th.
after us. Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Jerry, you're smarter than me.
So-
Interesting, I was so wrong. I was so loud and wrong.
Okay, so they're landing where? You said Montana.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say they've taken over. They've invaded the Earth. How would you make money if there was no social media?
I would have killed myself.
How do people make money? Not you. How would they remember you? How would they spend money in your business?
Honestly, I feel like it depends on what the aliens are here for. Are they here to colonize? Are they here to live with? Are they here to like engage? Because I feel like I'm a very welcoming person.
So they're here to live with us.
Oh, then yeah. Like, hey.
How do you
like,
think we'll react?
I think like for me, if there was an alien who wanted to like move next door, I'm very welcoming. As long as you're not like slimy. I feel like it's the texture thing for me. Like I think I'll be down with it. Like, will the alien look like Groot? Will it look like Rocket from like Guardians of the Galaxy? Would it look like the guy with the ugly skin? What's his name?
Let's say the guy with the ugly skin.
That's fine too, because you're solid. I don't want slimy aliens though. I feel like that would be my issue.
You don't want goo.
I don't want goo. I feel like goo might be too much because who's gonna clean it up? That's gonna be money though. And are we gonna be like subservient? Are we gonna be underneath the aliens? Or are we gonna be above them? Because that's also different. Because you know human beings like we like to fight.
What would
Like,
Trump say?
I think Trump wouldn't be around for it. I think Trump will go in a bunker.
Yeah, he run away.
I think they'll run away.
Yeah.
Again.
What is that sign, bro? I don't know.
United America. But yeah, I feel like Trump and like, I think Elon Musk is a wimp. I don't think he's gonna fight. But if he does fight, I think he would like use like wars. I don't know. But I know I would be friendly. I'll be nice. If I know they're not gonna kill us, we're gonna be vibey, then I think we'll be fine.
What about intergalactic marriages? How
I
do you
think
think
that's
people
possible.
feel about it?
I feel like I'm open to it. Like I wonder like what parts they would have though. Like is it tentacles?
Ooh.
Is it penis? Is
3
it penis
boobies.
adjacent? 3 boobs would be lit. I love a titty. I love a solid titty. But this soft, hard, gooey titties, like it depends too. I also like take myself out of the minds of humans and think about an alien. Like what does my ideal alien look like? What does my ideal alien look like? I think a nice mouth, a solid mouth, not a lot of slobber, a long tongue.
Big or small lips?
I feel like my lip would be fine.
Is that big or small?
My lip, I don't know. I think I have like medium lips. I want a retractable tongue. I've always wanted retractable. I've always wanted a retractable tongue. I feel like I'm not sure about the hair because I don't have a thing for hair, but like a scaly scalp is fine. Like something I can rub my hands through. Like an inside braided scalp. I love an inside braid. You know where it's like it's scaly, but it's like I could feel it from the sciencey Hulu program. I forget the name, but he was the one on the planet where there were only 2 males. I forget. But if y'all know what I'm talking about, in the comments. And then I think the body, just a solid mass body, I think I'll be fine with, or like a robot body, like a Thanos body, yeah, with titties, 3 titties, and then a penis and a hole, or like a pointed thing, if it's not a penis, but a gadget that can fit into holes and a hole.
So pretty much the alien will be able to himself.
Yes. That's my dream alien. Oh my god, can someone like draw that?
Buildanalien.com.
All right, Donald, I think that's the end of this episode.
So you're gonna end it after me saying the alien episode? Okay.
I thought we're gonna end the episode there because I feel like we went. I know, honestly, that was a crazy ending to that episode, you guys. And I'm thinking about that. That sounds fun. I want that. I wonder if someone's gonna make a toy like that.
What's fun about that?
I don't know. Now I'm just thinking.
It'd be good if it for. I was gonna say it'd be good for display.
Display.
Yeah, because you know, like in those like dystopian worlds, like you're walking all around. Think about like red light districts, like the new Amsterdam, but like with aliens in it. You know, like when you walk through red light district, you have like the windows with like people like,
so you just see, like different
themselves.
things?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of like the box in New York. Have you ever been to the box?
I've not, but I've heard about it. I need someone to invite me to it. I will yap about it when I come on the podcast. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Am I Too Loud, the podcast. I think this was a really fun. This is gonna be one of my top 10 episodes. Top 3.
Top 10.
Top 3 episodes, maybe top 2.
Top 10 out of 15.
I think this would be right after my Ditty December episode because I really like that episode too.
What's your favorite episode so far?
To record?
Yeah. Cause we have good ones though.
Oh, let me see. Let's end it that way. What's yours, Donald? Too? You gotta tell me, and I'll tell you.
Oh my god, favorite episode?
Interesting. Let me see, y'all.
No, I'm looking too.
Right? What If I Was Gay is one of my top favorites, and a close second is my Ditty December was crazy. Because I feel like I was so chill when I came back that I was just talking.
Yeah.
And that was fun for me because I feel like I don't yap enough online and I want to yap some more.
I think my favorite was alcohol.
I know it is. I know.
Yeah.
You were so predictable.
My favorite was alcohol. It was a really long episode, but that was
It was a
good.
really long episode. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to episode 9, go
and
listen
y'all,
to it.
mine is, you plugging your episodes. I want to plug mine. No, that's our podcast. Oh, I said our podcast, Donald. It's our baby. Guys, we're so proud of this baby. It's gonna be a fun episode. We should get someone to cut these clips really fire. Let's end it here. I love y'all so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Let us know what kind of comments and topics you want us to discuss in our comments. And we love you very much. Like, thank you for listening. You're pod fam forever, man. Like, y'all, like, if you listen to this all the way through, you just like enjoy it, like it, rate it. Like, I think we're doing something really cool here that no one has ever done, especially for our communities and where we are in life. So shout out to y'all for sticking with us. This is only get bigger and better. Hopefully Unwell picks us up. Hopefully Spotify Studios maybe picks us up. You never know. I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye, guys.
#PodFam in the comments, and I'll send you a gift.